with the putting?
Yeah.
Okay, so the grip we changed, we talked about the grip, and some of you had heard that before, and some of you are familiar with it. So with the grip, we have it more up our palm here, okay? And I heard positive feedback from that, so we like that, okay? With some people, the ball position for everybody seemed pretty consistent, middle of your stance. I like that. Obviously, you know, you've all been around this game for a while. Tick-tock on the clock, so with our tempo, we're always focusing on our tempo, no matter what. So that nice rhythm with our putting. And that's going to make a huge difference as we get to our longer putts, which we worked on. You know, just feeling that nice tempo. Any questions about pitching?
It's helping.
Everybody, we worked on something different with everybody,
it's
right?
helping.
But fundamentally, weight more on our left side.
Yeah.
You know, the grip is more through the fingers, because we are going to be doing some wrist hinge. Okay, so grip is more in our fingers. Ball position, I like it in the center, but as you move it forward, you're going to create a higher loft. Okay, you're going to use more of the bounce in your club. When we're pitching out of the rough, it's definitely important to use more loft. So 50, 60 degree. I steer away from the 60 personally. I think the 60 degree or lob wedge gets us into trouble. Okay, but as you feel more confident with your 56 through the rough, where you know your buddy stepped on your ball and now you can hit it from there. Okay, if you want to mess around with a 60 when you're practicing and then success with a line drill, great feedback when you hit that line. You know exactly that you entered it correctly. Ball position more towards the forward of your stance. I think I forgot to mention that, so I told each of you individually. Ball forward of the stance, okay? And that's because we're aiming a little more right with our body, right? But we're still swinging down our body line, okay? Bunkers, pretty much you feel like you're kind of picking, it's more arms, you know? Again, I mentioned this, it's the only shot here in golf that you actually purposely want to hit fat. Okay, so an inch behind the golf ball is a good target line. Okay, so start with your club there. Okay, and feel like you're just kind of picking the club out, placing it down on that, and finishing to about shoulder level is a good, you know, picking it up, finishing at your shoulder like you're posing. That's a great way to accomplish.
Yeah, the drills, I like the drills that straightened out my ball flight. It's not as much left to right, so that's good. So I got to work on that.
So as you notice that your ball flight changed to a little bit straighter, you probably would notice that you're going to gain some distance as well. The more side spin we take away, the more distance we're going to gain. So that's, as you progress and as you practice those drills that we talked about, you slowly gain distance. Okay?
In the backspin's gone too.
And the backspin for you is definitely going to lower.
I hope so.
And side spin and backspin are going to lower as we have that correct impact position. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah,
That's
sounds
great.
great.
Good.
All right, guys. We'll see you for the next lesson.
You got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We talked about course management with everybody, you know, when to hit the driver. Mr. Hinziak, you were saying number 8, Marsh, you don't really like to hit the driver, you like to talk about the fairway wood. So we worked on your fairway wood a little bit, so going back and forth between those. Does anyone have any questions about what we covered today with the driver? And the course management a little bit?
Just a little practice.
Just a little practice,
Yeah,
right? And I gave
absolutely.
everybody some drills to work on,
Yep.
so if you have any questions about those drills or any questions about what we talked about today that you think of when you get home, please, you know where I am all the time.
We'll reach out.
Well, I appreciate you guys
Well, thank
spending
you.
8 hours with me over the last 4 weeks or so, I really appreciate it, and if you need anything, again, you know where to find me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I actually have a sleeve of golf balls for you.